Well, the battle for Pennsylvania's Senate seat continues heating up. Dr. Mehmet Oz and John Fetterman scheduled to debate next month. A big topic both sides have been clashing on involves criminal justice. Today, Republicans digging up Fetterman's tweets from 2019 and 2020 about incarcerations. Now, taken out of context, it appears Fetterman calls for the release of all second-degree murderers from Pennsylvania's prisons. But his campaign has clarified, saying Fetterman does not support releasing all prisoners serving life without parole for second-degree murder, and that he believes there are individuals convicted of life without parole who deserve to remain in prison. So joining us now, Julia Manchester, national politics reporter with our partners at The Hill. Julia, great to have you with us. So Republicans now reorganizing their attacks on Fetterman, digging up these old tweets, what they call this history of being soft on crime. Do you think this is a tactic that could maybe change the trajectory of this race?
You know, I certainly think it's a tactic, Nichole, but we'll have to see if it changes the trajectory of this race. You know, what we are seeing is really a tale of two issues in this Senate race playing out. You have seen Fetterman really over the past couple of weeks, but especially since last week when Senator Lindsey Graham announced his nationwide abortion ban proposal. You've really seen Fetterman try to tie Dr. Mehmet Oz to that proposal, very much trying to get him to talk about that, because we know that a lot of these these proposed abortion bans, and in general, the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade is rather unpopular with voters. So you have John Fetterman very much trying to hone in on that. On the other side of this, you have Dr. Mehmet Oz, who's been trailing Fetterman in the polls, honing in on this issue of crime. And we know that Republicans at the Senate level, as well as down ballot across the ballot across the country, really have been focusing on how to combat rising crime and trying to portray Democrats as weak on crime, trying to bring up the defund the police mantra, if you will. So I think what you're seeing in Pennsylvania is really a representation of the messaging battle that's happening in the midterm campaign across the country.
Well, so Julia, you know, most of the criticism really is on comments that are at least a year old. So why is Dr. Oz, his campaign, Republicans in general, choosing to attack Fetterman on these issues now? Is it really just all part of that bigger crime strategy?
I think it's a part of the bigger crime strategy. And also, you know, look, we have Mehmet Oz obviously has a record as being a celebrity and having that on-air presence, that, you know, celebrity presence. And we've seen Democrats really dig up a lot of opposition research on him. But Fetterman also has a record, and, you know, not only a record as mayor of Braddock, Pennsylvania, but also as lieutenant governor. So it's very easy for opposition researchers on the GOP side to dig that stuff up and try to trip him up in any way possible. But I think for them, this is very much a part of their strategy to try to portray him as weak on crime, especially when we see violent crime rising in cities across the country, including in Philadelphia.
You know, and Julia, of course, there's this debate that is scheduled for next month between Fetterman, between Oz. Do you think crime will be a big issue? And here, Fetterman is just moments away from speaking there. That's a live look right now in Pennsylvania. But when it comes to this debate next month, do you think that crime is going to be one of the issues that will be, you know, a big issue, a hot issue for that debate? And is it really a hot issue, a big issue impacting Pennsylvania voters?
I think it's absolutely going to be an issue in that debate. And if the moderators don't bring it up, I assume Dr. Oz definitely will in an effort to attack Fetterman. I think you also may see Fetterman talk about, you know, what he says is his record being tough on crime. So he could bring it up as well in order to boost himself. In terms of whether it's important to Pennsylvanians, look, I haven't seen any Pennsylvania specific polling on the, I guess, the ranking of various issues that are impacting voters. But we know that across the country, crime is certainly one of those hot button issues that voters are talking about. And so is abortion, so is inflation, so is the state of the economy. So this debate could go many ways. But this week, it seems like the theme of this very dramatic race, Nichole, is crime and abortion access.
All right, Julia Manchester from our partners at The Hill, thank you for that. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.